Hello and welcome to my report, EastMojo's daily news bulletin. We bring you updates from the East, untold stories from the East. Today we're being joined by Chandan Pandey from Tripura, Irani Sonowal Lepcha from Arunachal, Medolenuo Ambrocia from Nagaland, Princess Giri Rashir from Meghalaya, Wangamla Sally Khapai from Manipur, and Pankaj Dungel from Sikkim. So let's head to Irani from Arunachal to get the latest updates from the frontier state.
Yeah. Hi, Simran. So, if you talk about Arunachal, the total number of samples collected till today morning was 2,483. And so far, Arunachal is quite fortunate to have no positive cases of COVID in the state as of now. And number of negative, the samples whoever have tested till now is like 1,904, and the samples awaited are 579. And the interesting part is the total number of person in institutional quarantine facilities are 4,238, as Arunachal has made institutional quarantine mandatory whoever is coming from outside of the state. And if you talk about the
Sorry to cut you. So you said that there are no positive cases in Arunachal. So the state is now COVID free for how many days now?
It's been more than a month now, because last month there was just one case, and it was a 31-year-old man, and he got recovered later on, and he's now quite fine. He's doing well.
Okay. That's
so, and if you talk about the other updates, people, as we all know that we have been talking about the stranded people throughout the country. So if we focus on people from Arunachal, those who were stranded outside the state, yes, they have started coming in, and the people from other states, other northeastern states, those who were stranded in Arunachal, the people have already started moving out of Arunachal. Yesterday, a bus for Manipur has left already, and today a bus for Nagaland has already left. So maybe by 17th, all the northeastern states, the people from all the northeastern states, those who were stranded in Arunachal, will be leaving on or before 17th of this month. And there is a very disheartening thing which I want to tell all the viewers of EastMojo, that there are 56 people from Jammu and Kashmir, those who are stranded in Itanagar as of now, and the government has, given them a quarantine center where they can live quite comfortably as of now, because Jammu and Kashmir is the government of Jammu and Kashmir is not ready as of now to take them back, as there are few quarantine facilities in their state as of now. So maybe for next 20 to 25 days, or maybe for a month, these 56 people will be staying in Arunachal, and the government is taking quite good care of them.
Okay, thank you so much for the update, Irani. Thank you. Now, next, we are heading on to Assam, and I'll be giving you updates from the state. So, a few hours ago, 7 positive cases were reported in Assam, which has taken the state's total to 86 cases, including one patient who migrated to Bihar. Now, these 7 patients that have tested positive for COVID-19 today, they are those people who have returned from Mumbai, and of which 3 are cancer patients, 1 is a heart patient, and 3 other attendants of those patients. Earlier in the day, our state health minister, Himanta Biswa Sharma, he went to Radisson Blu, where these individuals were staying in quarantine, to get them shifted to GMCH. So the state's tally stands at 86 total cases, 39 discharged, 44 active cases, and 2 deaths. And last night, 15 new cases were reported in Assam, all related to an earlier case of Fancy Bazaar, following which several containment zones have been declared in Guwahati city. One is in Shantipur area of Guwahati, second in Panbazar Railway Colony area, and third is the area encircling the Raj Kamal Hotel in Fancy Bazaar. Now, this containment zone, these new cases, they have majorly impacted the commercial hub. Fancy Bazaar is the commercial hub, biggest commercial hub in northeastern region and the commercial hub of Guwahati, Assam. So I think businesses are likely to get impacted due to this because these areas being declared as containment zones. And in other news, a train carrying 500 people from Delhi to Dibrugarh arrived in the past 24 hours, and around 130 people got down at Guwahati, and 51 of those were taken to Horojai Stadium for getting screened and for taking the swab samples, and remaining were sent back to their respective districts for a quarantine, home quarantine or institutional quarantine, however they choose. Now let's head on to Manipur, where we'll get updates from Sally. So Sally, can we find out more about the state?
Okay, thank you so much, Simran. So far, Manipur has no active COVID cases in our state. Since April 12th, that was the last COVID patient which was discharged from the hospital. There is no fresh case of COVID-19 in our state. Now, when it comes to the evacuation, which has been initiated by the state government, the first massive evacuation by train was arrived yesterday from Chennai with a total number of passengers, 1,441. That was the first evacuation that has been initiated by the state government by train. Now, the second evacuation by train was started from Punjab with a total number of passengers which were they were stranded in Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, as well as in Haryana. So 932 passengers are on the way. They would be arriving tomorrow at Chiripam railway station. That is the second evacuation, and the third evacuation is happening from Bangalore. So the train will be started by 7 p.m. according to the report, and around 1,450 passengers from the state, they are coming back to Manipur from Bangalore. That is the third evacuation by trains. And according to the press conference which was held today by the Chief Secretary, Chief Suresh Prabhu, another train, the state is planning to arrange another train from Chennai and one more train from Vadodara. And on top of that, they are still in talk with the Maharashtra government in order to bring those stranded passengers, the stranded citizens who are staying in Mumbai. So there are no specific date yet, but the state are in talk with the Maharashtra government. Now, those passengers who have arrived yesterday, they have already sent back successfully to their respective district, where they have to do a mandatory 14 days institutional quarantine. And according to the latest information, the state, earlier there was a home quarantine was allowed, but now due to some precautionary measures, the state have already restricted for the home quarantine. So whoever have come from outside the state have to be at least 14 days, they have to be in the institutional quarantine. So far the state have already identified 122 institutional quarantine, where all the incoming passengers, incoming citizens who are stranded in different metro cities would be kept there. So this is the latest report for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Sally. Next, we are heading on to Princess for updates from Meghalaya. So there was a review meeting earlier in the day. Princess, could you tell us more about that?
Hello. Hi. Yeah, a very good evening, Simran. So, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So, as mentioned today, that there was a review meeting that was held with the NDA government and along with the opposition, and this is the second time that a meeting was held concerning the developments that are taking place in the state on this COVID-19 crisis. And many suggestions were given by the opposition, and both the political parties have come together in spite of the differences, and to find ways how they can deal with the situation. And so far as updated, the numbers that were given today that the government has informed that 2,537 tests, wherein 2,526 tests negative. And also, just a reminder, the state now has come down again. Like earlier on Saturday, we had reported another case, but then the 11th positive case is now that has fully recovered. So we're left with one more case. And this case was the one which was recorded, which was a fresh one, which was recorded just last week itself. Now, apart from this, the other developments that are taking place in the state are, the stranded people are being brought in as this is happening everywhere. Once with the central government allowing all the, allowing rail movement. So the state has made arrangements. Yesterday was the first batch that left from Chennai. And they'll be reaching, Guwahati railway station tomorrow. That is the 15th, and they left yesterday at, at 11 o'clock, estimated by the Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma. Apart from these, the other developments that we have in the state are as I spoke to Correspondent, who's the Deputy Chief Minister, he's also informed that the government is also arranging other special trains to bring in stranded persons from other states, in 9 other states like Maharashtra. Then you have like Odisha, many other states. They're trying their best in any way to bring back these stranded people who are their students and employees. And also, there's one very interesting number that the government has given is that they've put out the website and the stranded people were to register. So the number that they've given is close to 9,400 individuals have registered on the website, and out of these 7,100 individuals are expected to return to the state. So these are the developments that are taking place in Meghalaya.
Okay, and there's also a report that there's a political turmoil happening there as the state has allowed for import of coal from Assam. So can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. For these past days, we've been looking at, specifically in the Jaintia Hills, where once after the government, because with all the industrial sectors being allowed to open, so the government, the ruling government has allowed the function of these factories. So they've allowed the import of coal transportation from Assam. So this didn't go well with many of the political parties. And in fact, what was quite appalling is that NPP leaders themselves had even, objected to the government's move, and they had even, put in their papers and resigned and said that. And right now, in fact, yesterday itself, they started out kind of a protest and demanding that in 4 days' time, they're giving the government to stop the coal transportation, coal import from Assam. And if the government does not follow this in this 4 days time deadline that they're giving, if the government doesn't agree to that, then they're going to go on a non-cooperation. With a non-cooperation movement against the government. So this is what they intend to do, opposing, because they strongly feel that with the trucks coming in from Assam, and then the people believe that as much as the people in the front line are working to try to combat this, coronavirus pandemic, but they feel that the government itself is not doing their best in allowing trucks from Assam to enter the state. So they feel, that it's going to weaken, how much the people at the front line are trying to stop any kind of movement, and especially they feel that Assam being badly affected in the northeast. So they just want to ensure that nothing, bad happens. So this is what's happening.
Okay, thank you for that update. Well, coal is almost an essential commodity, and movement of essential commodity is the need of the hour. But let's see what holds in the future for Meghalaya. Next, we have Medolenuo from Nagaland. So there's some development about ICMR test lab in Nagaland. So Medo, can you update us about that?
Yes. Hi, Simran. We have a big news coming from the state. So we've just received information from the Nagaland Health Secretary, Sonowal. He has informed that the Naga Hospital Authority in Kohima, which is preparing for the biosafety laboratory level 3, has finally received the ICMR approval. Now, this is based on validation of documentation and quality control test run. He's informed that the state government is now waiting for the reagents to be supplied by the ICMR. So once these reagents reach the state government, hopefully we will be able to start with the testings. However, the duration of time for the reagents to reach the state is not assured as of yet. But in case it reaches this week and then our testings begin by this week, then Nagaland will make a record time of 4 weeks where we've set up, a biosafety level 3, a virology lab basically for COVID-19 testing. So that's all for the BSL-3. Now for the BSL-2, he's informed, the BSL-2 in Dimapur, he has informed that, civil works are now in progress. So hopefully the BSL-2 will also undergo, completion of the physical structure, after which it will go ICMR validation and certification and will be followed by the testing. Now, the second development here in the state, yesterday, the state government has announced that rupees 10,000 will be given for those stranded persons who are outside the state and who opt, to stay back at their current place of stay. And the government has given a criteria that these persons should be registered on the unstranded.nagaland.gov.in, which is the official and the government portal where the students are, the stranded persons are supposed to register under the section called Returnee Declaration Form. So, according to the official information that we have, 18,282 persons have registered for this returnee declaration form. And so the state government has made this announcement that those who stay back will, are eligible to apply for rupees 10,000. So this has kind of, sparked a debate among the people because the NSF, that is the apex body of the student body here in the state, they've also highlighted that, people who decided to stay back in the present place of stay, they have also voluntarily decided to stay back and have not registered on the website because, like I've said, they opt to stay back and not come. So, which is why they have not registered. So the NSF, they have met the chief secretary today. They have also, written to the chief secretary that this is not justice for the other people who are not registered. So they have made an appeal to the chief secretary, to give considerations for people who are not registered on the portal here, and to consider them as well, or maybe extend the window period for a reasonable period of time. Yes. And I'm just quickly moving on myself. So in regard to the third point, in regard to the stranded persons coming back to the state, the nodal officer for stranded persons, Shanavasi, who is also the principal director of school education, he's informed that nearly about 20 people have returned from the Delhi, Dibrugarh to Dimapur train this morning. That is around 2 a.m. And we're expecting another batch of returnees tomorrow and the day after. We're not exactly sure about the number of returnees as of now, but maybe about 10 to 20 persons will now be arriving daily. That is what I was informed. And so far, the interstate movement from the Northeast region is concerned. About 190 of them has returned back to the state today.
Okay, thank you so much for that update, Meadow. So if Nagaland, if the testing laboratory starts functioning in Nagaland, then it's likely to massively increase the testing capacity, given that scores of people are returning back to the state from Northeast and from across the country. Now, moving on, we'll talk to Pankaj from Sikkim to get updates of what's happening in Sikkim. Sikkim and Nagaland are the only two states in the country which has not even reported a single COVID case. So let's find out what's happening in the state from Pankaj. Pankaj?
Hi, Simran. So, as you mentioned, I think Sikkim and Nagaland are the only two states without any COVID-19 positive cases. That's the scenario currently in Sikkim also. Till today, there are no positive cases. There are no reported cases. But another similar line with Nagaland would be that I think Sikkim just secured a major consignment that range around 30 to 100 kilograms from the Indian Air Force in New Delhi. It has come to the National Institute of Pathology from Noida. The consignment includes what is now being considered as for the viral testing lab, which is still awaited. Sikkim still doesn't have a viral testing lab, and perhaps that could be one of the reasons where we don't have any positive cases. Because currently, even right now, our samples are being sent only to North Bengal Medical College and Hospital in Siliguri. That's our scope of, for the testing. And on an average, they take in like 200 samples from the state. But currently, the state is sending around 100 on an average state. With more people being brought into the state right now, around, I think, close to 1,200 people have been facilitated, or even more, as has been from other states. The lab would actually come in handy. Talking over the lab, I think the lab will be specified only towards RT-PCR and other required equipments. There will be 4 technicians who will be coming by road to the state. Will be, I think, installing all these devices. The lab is spread across a space of around 280 square meters, or around 2,800 square feet. The requirement being still ICMR's guidelines being is 3,000 square feet or 300 square meters. So if that is the scenario, I think we're slightly lacking in terms of size for the lab. But apart from it, with the installation, I think Sikkim will start its testing only around March 25th is what we're hearing.
March 25th?
March 25th, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. For that, prior to that, I think authentication is an important aspect. So around 10 samples will be sent after the lab is installed. Civil works are finished with the lab. Currently, epoxy and vinyl floorings and walling and sealing for the 13-room testing lab facility is being done. 3 of them is supposed to be a devoted testing lab itself. And I think in the days to come, we'll be having our own RT-PCR testing being conducted for the scheme.
Okay. That's interesting. Because labs are, virology labs are really important to actually determine whether there are COVID cases or not. And like you stated in the beginning, that not having a lab might be the reason why Sikkim does not have a COVID case as of now. So thank you for that update, Pankaj. And now we'll head on to Tripura. So Chandan, can you give us the updates from the state?
Yes, thank you, Simran. So far, I would like to say our state has reported 156 COVID positive cases, and among them, 18 cases have already been discharged. That includes the first 2 patients, the BSF Jawans who had tested positive. And so far, the state has collected more than 12,000 samples, and more than 11,500 samples have been tested. And the scenario here is getting really better now because, as we know, the new discharge policy by the center has made it mandatory that in 10 days, a person having mild symptoms can be discharged. So the government has already started discharging patients who don't have that much of symptoms, who are asymptomatic. So now we just have 138 patients in the hospital, of which 13 more will be discharged by this evening. So one more update for the day is that a central medical team has arrived in Agartala this evening. They will be investigating the source of the virus, how the virus was spreaded in the BSF battalion in Ambrocia district. So this team has arrived here. And apart from that, talking about the stranded people who have returned to the state, close to 1,200 people have returned from Karnataka, Bengaluru yesterday, and a train has left from Chennai today, Tamil Nadu. Another train from Karnataka will leave tomorrow, which is expected to reach here by 20th. Both the train will reach here. The government is collecting samples randomly, and all of them have been placed under home quarantine. So this is the update from the state as of now, Simran.
Okay, thank you so much for that update, Chandan. So, well, this is what we have from Northeast so far for our viewers. Please keep checking out our website, www.eastmojo.com, for in-depth report for all the matters related to COVID and other developments, which is otherwise you will not find covered elsewhere. We cover in-depth, Northeast in-depth. And that's all for my report. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
टाइम बिल्कुल नहीं था, 1 मिनट बाकी है.